Hi, welcome back to the Active Self-Protection Extra channel. I'm here today with Mr. Tim Reedy, and we're going to ask him some of our instructor insider questions. We'll do that right when we come back.
The Storm Hunter WX weather app is free to download and use and provides you with warning of severe weather even before the National Weather Services issue alerts. This advanced weather app is an important tool for awareness of severe weather that I use every day. Download and use it totally free without in-app purchases on iOS or Android at the link below.
All right, we're back. So my first question for you, Mr. Tim, is what was your first gun and what is your current favorite gun?
My first gun was a Colt 1911 officer's model, 45 ACP, and it was a great little gun, but you know, it was probably not a good starting out gun for anybody in a handgun. And
do you still have it?
Oh, I do not.
Okay,
I do regret selling it, but anyway, my current gun, my favorite gun is the Glock 19.
Okay.
Not too big, not too small. It is the Goldilocks of guns.
The
As I'm
Goldilocks
talking
of
louder
guns.
to go over the four-wheeler here, but it's the Goldilocks of guns. You know, I love it because you can take a class where you shoot 1,000 rounds in a day.
Yes.
It doesn't beat you up. You can carry it and have, you know, 35 rounds on your body here. It's great for beginners.
Yes.
It's a little big for small hands, but it's also correspondingly easy to shoot, even if the hands don't fit it well. For me, it's just the right size, and the reliability, the simplicity, the amount of accessories for it.
Yes.
People
Holsters,
often, everything. People say, you know, hey, what gun should I buy? And, you know, if they just want a quick answer, a Glock 19.
You can't beat it.
Yeah,
You can't beat
home
it.
defense, carry, training, competition, it does it all.
Yeah, easy for friends and family to shoot it also. And yeah, good
Exactly.
stuff. All right, currently, what are you enjoying most about teaching, or what classes or topics are you enjoying most?
So I am really following in the footsteps of Akil Kadir and Tiffany Johnson as a gateway instructor. We've been working together for quite a while, and I've taken everything that they have to offer, and it is so critically important to give somebody a good first impression of the shooting world. I actually had a couple of college professors, first-time gun owners. It was when the COVID and the riots and all that stuff, and there was some violence happening against Asians hitting the news. And so they came to me, and we come out for the beginner class, and we sit down, and you know, for the first 30 or 45 minutes, it's talking about safety, getting them to internalize and regurgitate the rules back to me, and then working with blue guns and then certs. And you know, after the break at about an hour point, the man looked at me and goes, "This is not at all what I expected." And I said, "Did you think I was just going to hand you guys some guns and you'd be psh, psh?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Do you like this?" And he said, "Yes, very much." So I really, really, really like the gateway thing, bringing newbies into it. And for me, one of the biggest steps is going from a gun owner and a shooter to a gun carrier.
Yes.
And so holster basics, holster success, teaching them the safe way to carry the gun, present the gun, and most importantly, put the gun away. That is really one of my passions. I've spent a lot of time working on that, and it's for me, it's almost akin to getting a driver's license, because once you know how to work from a holster, IDPA, Steel Challenge, classes, everything, it opens up a whole wide world.
Yeah. It is an encouragement to me that an instructor of your caliber is willing and enjoys teaching beginners. I think that's absolutely fabulous and paramount. So thank you for doing that.
My pleasure.
All right. What is one helpful hint you can share with instructors just starting out?
Instructors just starting out, if at all possible, find somebody near you, take some classes from them, be their student, and then once you have established a relationship, offer to help them with their classes. I know Carl Wren preaches about this and everything, but just taking an instructor class does not make you an instructor. You need tons of experience, a lot of guidance. Out in the Bandera area, I've been so fortunate that we have a great pool of people that I've been sort of mentoring as my cadre, and they come and help me with my classes. They help me with my LTC class. Many of them shoot IDPA with me, and they are very interested in helping new people come into the sport and bring them up. So, you know, I coach them, you know, get them to start taking the lead on things. And that whole, you know, find somebody to mentor you. That's the biggest thing.
That would have been so helpful to me when I first started out. I was desperate for something like that. It doesn't seem like it's something that we do a lot of, or at least we don't talk about it a lot, and the importance of it in this space. So I'm really thankful that you mentioned that.
Let me add on that just a little bit. What really got me started interested in training as more than a hobby was at Thunder Ranch, my very first visit to Thunder Ranch.
Was it when it was in Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, the mid-90s. And I had shot IDPA. Well, actually, this was before IDPA, so no IDPA yet, but I was very interested in defensive shooting. And I go to Thunder Ranch, and I'm there on the range for my first class, and I'm looking at these people, and I'm looking at the instructors and watching them coach and take people progressing through their skills. And I'm just looking at this thinking, wow, I wonder if I could do this. I really want to do this. And from that point on, it was like, okay, let's find a little bit more I can do, a little bit more I can do. The overnight success story doesn't happen. No. So it was in the mid-90s I was there. I didn't form TDR training until 2010.
Wow.
And I've been, I take at least probably 40 or 60 hours of training a year.
Yes.
And it's just, I'm always working to improve my skills. And I look back at how I was at the beginning and think, I so much I didn't know, but not being in a huge hurry and getting that guidance from other folks has been invaluable.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying an overnight success is just not something that regularly happens, because it doesn't.
No.
So true. What is the best piece of firearm or protection-related advice that you've received?
Oh, gosh, that is kind of a tough one. For best piece of firearm advice, related advice, I'd have to say it's buy quality. You can, people go, gosh, I want something I can depend, on with my life.
Yes.
But I don't want it to cost more than about $200.
Right.
And, and by the way, and then I also want to spend no more than $10 for a holster.
Right.
We've all got the box of holsters. And with guns, I've been pretty fortunate in that I started off with Glocks fairly early, as soon as they were available. And something of high quality. There's probably a good 5 to 7 really good, reliable self-defense pistols that are available. And it's so much better than trying to buy something that's not suitable, something that's not reliable, and try to make it work. And it's just frustrating. It's like, you go to Kmart and you buy the Kmart bicycle and it sure looks great, and then you take it off road and everything falls apart and it weighs 100 pounds.
Yes,
and you're like,
yes,
and you're like, gosh, I could have paid, twice as much and gotten something that was really good and would have lasted me a long time. So for the equipment for the self-defense related advice, Tom Givens has a ton of pithy sayings, and one of my favorites is carry your damn guns. If it's not on you or within reach, it doesn't exist. So I'm a kilt on, gun on kind of guy. I get dressed in the morning. As soon as I've got something on, the gun in the holster goes on, and I don't have to think about it. It's there with me all day, under my complete control, so it's safe from others. And if I need it, I have it.
Yeah, I appreciate your analogy of buying a firearm compared to a bicycle, because I remember I got a budget bicycle when I was just in college, and the sprocket was small, it was so heavy, it was so incredibly hard to pedal, and I hadn't had a quality bike. I had kid bikes, right?
Yes.
But I'm trying to ride with my friends who have these quality bikes, and it was so hard, and it made it not fun. Absolutely. And I didn't want to go do it. They would all have a great time, and I couldn't understand why. But I think it's similar with firearms when it's so difficult, and so there's a newer handgun on the market that has a pretty substantial grip safety that makes it really challenging for people, and it's marketed for people with less grip strength. And if that's the one they choose, it's so frustrating for them with so many malfunctions. And
handgun shooting is so dependent on ergonomics. I've had a lot of students who have a gun that just doesn't. Guns with grip safeties, they have trouble activating reliably. Guns that are too small and just vicious recoil. And they think it's them, and it's, there is a difference in the equipment.
Yeah,
so.
I love your term, vicious recoil. That's a good way to describe that. Okay, last question. If you could train with anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
The living one.
Okay, you're funny.
Okay, train with anyone, living or dead. Oh my gosh. You know what? I think it would have to be Dr. William April. I was so fortunate in that I took a 3-day class that was William April, Tom Givens, and Craig Douglas, the EDP, Establishing a Dominance Paradigm.
Yes.
So, morning lecture with Dr. April, midday shooting with Tom Givens, afternoon scenarios and force on force with Craig Douglas. And I learned so much, and he was just such a wealth of knowledge about, essentially the worst of the worst that you can deal with. And, from what I understand, and just from what little I got to know him, was he just such a genuinely great human being. So I would say Dr. William April.
Oh, that's good. He was a great communicator as well, and engaging. And and that's a space that's really empty right now in our training community, which is really sad.
Yes, there's some folks who are kind of stepping up to kind of start to fill that.
Good.
And the other good thing, there's a number of his lectures which have been collected on the PDN network there.
Yes.
In all of my LTC classes, we'll be talking about stuff, and I'll say, write this name down. Dr. William April, PDN, Papa Delta November. Google it, watch the videos.
Oh,
and,
that's good to hear.
So it's much of his stuff lives on, but he was taken way too soon.
Oh, he was. He was. Well, thank you for your time today and for answering these questions.
It is my pleasure. I love working with you, Kaery.
Oh, thank you.
you.
Thanks.